In this video, we're going to take a look at the best settings for Yuzu emulator. This is for the majority of games that work with this emulator and will offer the best performance. I do want to mention that this video is recorded through OBS on the Steam Deck and it's using the Steam Deck's onboard mics. Now, first thing we're going to take a look at is this bottom menu here. We want to make sure that we have this set to the Vulkan API. We have the GPU set to normal. We have this set to dark mode, and we have the scaling filter set to FSR and FXAA set to on. I have tried undocked mode, and I haven't found any performance differences, and I also haven't found any decreases in the amount of power that's being drawn. It does degrade the quality of the image, so I do suggest leaving this set to dock mode. Now moving up here to emulation, we're going to set our global settings. Now we're here in general, and make sure they have a limit speed percentage. I have this set to 1000. Multi-core CPU emulation I have checked. Extended memory layout, and then pause emulation in the background and hide mouse activity I've set to on, and those are based on preference basically. I would go to Hotkeys and check this out. This is important to mention. It is kind of difficult sometimes to use the emulator in SteamOS, but if you do map these hotkeys, some of the important ones, to the Steam Deck's back grip buttons, it does make it a lot easier. Some important ones that I suggest mapping would be full screen, like exit Yuzu, exit full screen, and pause and continue. These are important and make it a lot easier to use. The UI, here you can change how the UI looks. You can change the theme. I have it set to dark mode, and you also change the game icon sizes and folder icon sizes. Over here in system, most of this should already be set up when you set up the emulator, so we're not going to touch this today. CPU, I have tried a couple different options in here. I was suggested to try unsafe. I found auto has the most reliable performance from the games that I have tested. Alright, over here in graphics, we have it set to Vulkan again. AMD is our device. I have used this pipeline cache, use asynchronous GPU emulation, and then accelerate texture decoding. Here I'm using GPU video decoding. I have it set to full screen, and then I have it stretched to window so there's no bars at the bottom and top of the screen. For the resolution, I have found that 0.75 has been the best across all the games I've tested, so I would set this to 0.75 times. And I do set the window adapting filter to FSR. Anti-aliasing again is FXAA. In advanced, I have Vsync set to off. Accuracy level is normal. Asynchronous shader is checked, and use fast GPU time is checked. Androscopic filtering is set to default. Audio, I have all these set to auto. Make sure your volume is set to 100%. Controls, I am using the Pro controller configuration, and for the input device, make sure you have it set to Steam Virtual Gamepad. This should already be set up, but if it's not, just make sure that's selected. And you can also add more than one controller. It supports up to 8. If you want to add a second one, you just highlight the second icon, you go to player 2, and your other input device should show up here in this menu, and then you can decide what type of controller you want as well. Alright, and that's it for here. So we are done with that, and if you do want to set up a configuration, you can do it individually per game as well. You just left click on the game, and it'll allow you to configure that. So now that we're done, if you have any questions, leave a comment, and see you in the next video.